Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where, if you're watching the audio, the video rather, you'll notice that we are one man down. But yeah, we'll get into all that. I'm your host, Mr. K. Asante, TKO Asante on all the places we communicate, and also on that Discord, which if you are a member of our aforementioned Discord, you know that by now the Great Everborn Saga probably sounds like Marge Simpson by now, probably, I would imagine. The man over the course of the week has slowly deteriorated voice wise. So by now he probably sounds very, very difficult to speak to or speak with or hear. So yes, I imagine he will not join us on this episode. But of course, we are not without a great guest. I'm joined by the one, the only, the one who hasn't been on our show before, which is absolutely ridiculous on my part. Forgive me, sir. He's a great member of our actual Discord community and has his own community, which is many members strong. The great Korkenstein. Sir, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, man, I'm so glad to be here. I know we always talk like almost every day, but I'm glad I'm able to get on here now. Like I said, I absolutely love the podcast. I love what you and Everborn do. Just even with your Discord too, it's just an amazing Discord. For me, it's the gaming Discord where you get like actual real gamers to come in, talk, and it's such a wealth of knowledge. I mean, you got Lucius in there. I mean, he has a ton of knowledge. And it's just so much fun to be in there.
I appreciate you being here, but see, the thing that is interesting to me is, right, we're building a great community, and shout out to the great community. I see y'all in the chat, y'all getting rowdy in there already. Yes, shout out to Mr. Everborn Saga. Hopefully he's taking his lozenges and drinking his lemon tea, because the boy's voice was rough last time I heard him. So yeah, but you yourself have a very strong community. Tell the fine folks where in the gaming space you fall, what you've done, why you, how it is that I am privileged to have you in our community, because you got something going on yourself, right?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I've modded the Xbox communities on Reddit for probably the last 8 or 9 years now. Not always as the Korkenstein. I had a different name at the time, but I decided once I started this name and I got on Twitter and then I started doing podcasts and everything, I should probably keep everything the same for, just recognizability's sake and things like that. So yeah, I started on Xbox One. I didn't start with its creation, but I joined in a little bit later, and I modded there. We did a lot of really cool stuff with the subreddit where we were like doing designs, and it got a lot of developers into the subreddit. And it really sparked that community developer relationship that we had.
Okay.
And then once the Xbox Series X came out, another team made it, and they were like, "Hey, we love what you guys do. We need help with this. Can we join your team?" We're like, "Yeah, let's start unifying these communities." And that's where it started. So we got Xbox One joined in, and we got those mods on the Xbox One. We got our mods over on the Xbox Series X subreddit. And then Foreman, who recently passed last year, he had this crazy idea. Let's reach out to our Xbox sub. Let's take this unification to the next level. And yeah, that's what we did. We started working. It took a year for us, because we've always had people ask, like the community ask us, like, why do we have 5 subreddits, all dedicated to Xbox on Reddit? And yeah, so we ended up getting that, and we now unified all the communities for the most part. We are on our Xbox. Yeah, that's where I'm at now, and we just hit 1 million. I'm sorry.
There you go. No, that's the question I was going to ask you. So just to give people because not everybody's on Reddit, but yeah, to give people an understanding of the community size that we're talking about here, y'all just hit 1 million followers, a million subscribers, basically.
Yeah, basically 1 million subs. When we took over our Xbox, it was at 600,000.
Okay.
And that was about 2 or 3 months, probably 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And then, yeah, we've slowly just built it up. We brought our developer contacts over. We started doing AMAs. We started doing giveaways. We started doing all this really cool stuff, bringing wikis and histories. And Game of the Year awards and things like that, and it just really just blew up. And yeah, we ended up hitting 1 million, and we just ran and finished up some contests where even Ben Kenobi dropped a token and his brand new Fallout statue. Sandfall and Kepler was like, here's 10 codes to give away for Expedition 33. Melissa McGame Pass, she ended up was like, here's 10 1-month Game Pass Ultimate codes, give those away.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
we're doing a lot of cool stuff.
You're doing some cool stuff over there. All right, cool. So I think you should be a mod in our chat. If you are not, how about you put some notifications in our chat, and I will make sure I mod you up, and I want you to put your link in that chat, so those who have not joined your 1 million strong should know where to find you. I would appreciate that you follow this man and actually join the work. He's part of our community. You should be part of his. I appreciate you being here, bro. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, sir. We have a lot of cool stuff that's actually coming up. So we are looking at getting media status since we hit 1 million. Key Mailer gives you the opportunity. They're one of the few ones that you can partner up with as a subreddit. I think we might be the first. So we're going to try that. I put it in an application, and that way we can start getting reviews. We can start doing previews for the Xbox community. It's a fan ran sub, and that's just what we're there for, is to just have fun, talk about Xbox, and enjoy gaming for what it is. A beautiful hobby.
Fantastic, sir. See, and with that in mind, so you should now be a mod. Let me know if you're not. With that in mind, let us roll through how we do this today. And first off, once again, shout out to all the great people out here. Yes, I see you. You in there. You got the colors.
Yep.
Welcome, sir. Shout out to all the great people watching on all the various socials. Once again, I will say it as the people join in. Mr. Everborn Saga is not with us right now because right now he sounds real hoarse. I'll just put it that way. He's been losing his voice over the week. I imagine he's probably at screen yelling right now. I hope he's listening. He's probably listening on his own channel and or on ours and on all the various socials. So salute to Mr. Everborn Saga. He may even be in the chat. I have no idea, but that's why he is not here. But we're joined by the great Korkenstein, and we will get into it as we do with the games we've been playing. Korkenstein, I'll go to you first, sir. Any games this week that have been keeping your interest? I know there's we're in that lull time period where you could be tapping into the backlog. Anything interesting you're playing, sir?
So I've jumped into Quarantine Zone, the last check. Quarantine. I've been waiting for that game for like a year, and then it hit a bunch of developer snags, and then they finally got a publisher, Devolver, to come in, and they really shaped this game up into something special. I've been playing that.
Quarantine the Zone. Tell me more about it. I'm not familiar with the game.
Oh, okay. So basically, the zombie apocalypse took over. And you're running basically a camp for survivors to extract them. It's a first person game, and you basically have to assess if they're a zombie or not. So you'll see by their notifications, like what they're doing. So somebody will come up and you'll have to use like a temperature gun. And then if it over a certain limit, and then you have to fill out like a little report of like, okay, yeah, they have a high temp, they have this. And it tells you if they're infected or not. I love this,
man.
Yeah.
This is wild. So usually we come on here, right? And most people will tell you, oh, we're playing the Call of Duties, and I'm sure you'll tell me we're playing some of those. I'm playing a little of this, and I'm playing but this is a unique pull on our show, sir. I appreciate you. This is fantastic. Tell us more about what is this again? This is Quarantine Zone, the last check.
Yep.
Okay. Give me more information about this thing. So what's the elevator pitch here?
Yeah. So just basically you're running a camp, and then you got to take care of the survivors. So it's part base management as well. So you got to make sure they're fed. You got to upgrade the stuff. Right now he's looking at the person, he's checking them out, he's trying to see, and then you'll even get like an X-ray gun. Don't worry, there's no nudity or anything, so you won't be on this, but you'll just see like under their clothes to see if they have bite marks, to see their eyes, if they're red or depending, and then you have to get the selection correct, and then you get rewarded based off of it. If not, you can send them, like, let's say, like right there, it says conjunctivitis. You can put them in quarantine to see, hey, will they turn into a zombie later? Or they call it liquidation. So if you're absolutely sure they're an infected, you send them to the liquidation, and they handle business. And yep. So yeah, it's a super awesome game. Part-based management as well. So you got to make sure your thing's constantly powered. You have food, supplies, and then they have a little mini game too to shake it up, where
This
zombies
is
are
the
trying
end
to
of the
attack your camp.
universe, the end of the world management sim. Basically,
Yep.
so
You are
and I'm gonna
God
be
in
very-
this game. You're deciding these people's fate.
I'm going to be cynical right now. Okay, forgive me. I'm going to be a little cynical right now. So basically, this is like, what's the name of the zombie TV show that everybody loves so much, that people have been watching for God knows how long at this point, like
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Yeah, this is basically The Walking Dead before it all went to crap, right? And they went, let's mine it for more juice. So what would happen before the uprising completely goes haywire? Well, people would build up bureaucracy. They'd have checkpoints. They'd have all these systems, and you're basically playing that version.
Yeah,
that is hilarious to me. Oh my god, how deep does this thing go? Are there can they revolt? Are there do they break free of their shackles and kill the entire thing?
Yeah. So you can actually, if you admit, so see, he just sent him to liquidation, so he's gonna get taken out.
He's just like, I'm going to liquidation. Ooh.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there it goes.
That is weird.
And then so you can actually, like, if you make a mistake, so there's a guy in quarantine. You can, if you submit a zombie into the base, it'll start eating the survivors. Like and then you got to go in there and kill the zombie. But yeah, it's not too in depth where you get into like the political social aspect of it. But it's its most basic kind of fundamental, just to keep the gameplay, cheeky and
kind of wild. It's kind of wild. I'm just saying. And I imagine this is a solely PC focused game.
No, Xbox. It just released on Xbox PC Game Pass.
Wow.
As well.
I forget who I'm talking to. This man is all day. You're Mr. Console Xbox all day still, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, I play on everything, but I prefer the Xbox console. Yeah.
You are a dying breed, good sir. You are a dying breed, right? Like us, you are a graybeard in your own way. I'm just saying.
Yep, definitely. Yep. Had the OG Xbox and love it.
Oh no, I still have all my consoles. I still have my OG. I still have all that. It's just these days, I would say I'm a PC gamer, but oddly enough, I just game on handhelds a lot because I just have a hard time sitting in front of my machines. There's too much going on in life, so I just end up taking a handheld with me. But I appreciate it. The console still has life. Every time I turn around, I read an article about how it's dead, while all these millions of people still playing. And I'm like, come on, people, like, what's going on?
And speaking of handheld, that's the next thing I was playing is the ROG Ally. My girlfriend got it for me for Christmas. And
very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I started back up Detroit Become Human again. I forgot just how amazing that game actually is.
Okay.
Chef's Kiss runs beautifully on the ROG.
Okay. Yeah. So Detroit Become Human, for those who haven't played it, if you recall, used to be a PlayStation exclusive. I think PS3 or was it PS4?
I think PS4. Yeah. But
I actually really enjoyed that game. To me, that was kind of like a Telltale game in its way, as far as walking sim, if you will, but turned to 11 as far as storytelling and even graphical output and all that. It really tried to shoot for the moon. It was really, really good, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, hands down.
Have you finished playing it?
Not on my ROG. So I take it to like for my lunches and stuff like that. So I get limited playtime. So I'm slowly moving. I'll do like maybe 2 scenes, and I'm like, okay, I got to save this because if I play, I'll just power through it. Even while I'm at home, I got it on my Steam machine. So I kind of not my Steam machine, my PC. So I don't want to I want to savor it and actually enjoy it by like a nice brisk pace. So I haven't finished it yet, but I'll probably get to it probably next week. Probably finish everything up.
Very nice.
I'm going.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. It's been out for a while, so I think it's even been given away for free sometimes on certain platforms. And usually it's really cheap. If you find it on Steam sale or whatever, it is like ridiculously cheap. So if you guys have a chance to, this is a game that people should play. I suspect not a lot of Xbox people got a chance to play it back in the day because it was exclusive. So maybe it was just one of those that might be in a lot of people's blind spots. but it is worthy of playing. I think it was really, really well told and very nice acted. I enjoyed myself with that game.
Very well done acting, and the narrative is solid, the writing is solid, the path branching on it is absolutely solid. You do some stuff and you just it just branches off into a new thing you never thought would happen. You can get it on sale. That's how I did. I actually got all of I just had their name in my Quantic Dream. They had their like sale on like the end of the year sale or whatever. I got all their games for like $10 on Steam.
That's wild, bro. That is a sale. That is a steal. Whoa, that's amazing. Well, this was the whole Steam winter sale.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the winter sale, or it was like new sale or New Year's sale or something. It was one of them. Yeah, and it gave me Heavy Rain. I got this one. I got the Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Yeah, this is excellent. So yeah, if you have a chance to seek it out, it's a really excellent game. Let's see. Anything else you've been playing, sir?
The last one is probably just I'm still on that Dead by Daylight grind. I don't know why. It frustrates me so much. I just get so angry with that game, but it's so like just the horror aspect of it and what they're, just being able to play different characters, and then my buddies play it. So like we actually have a solid like three person team out of 4. But it's just so frustrating at times, but I absolutely love it. Just the aesthetic, the thrill of it. Dead by Daylight's been around. I'm a huge asymmetrical horror fan as well. So I played, Friday the 13th. I played the Ash game. I played Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm looking forward to Halloween coming up from Ilphonic and from them, those guys who did Killer Clowns as well and Predator Hunting Grounds. So all of these games, DBD is just it's a guilty pleasure. It's so frustrating, but absolutely. Have you played?
How long has this? I've dabbled from time to time. Yeah. How long has this franchise been going? I mean, because it to my understanding, it lives and dies by your crew, right? Like, and all the excellent new interesting content they've been adding to it. I think it's been around for quite some time at this point, right?
10, I would say 10. It feels like 10 years. Yeah, it feels like it's been around for a really, really long time. And yeah, they're constantly, they just added The Walking Dead a few months ago. They just brought Stranger Things back for it. So that was the latest drop right now. They always have unique killers coming out in between like IP license drops. So they have the Kraus killer. It's really cool, like the stuff that they do. There's a lot of passion there and everything. It just needs the balancing kind of figured out between the killer and survivors.
Look, I gotta say, I am not one that tends to play a lot of what we would now consider the live service games, the black hole games, any of those, the multi like meant to keep you there for extended periods of time. But because I found that they kind of shoehorn that into different things that may not belong, right? For the purposes of cash, that kind of thing, right? But some of these franchises really seem to like excel in giving people what they want. This franchise did not start out this way, right? It just gave you a little bit of what it was going to give you, and that was that. And they just kind of kept adding and refining and giving people what they want as far as the horror franchise. I think that's a great look. I'm saying that in certain instances and in certain genres, it seems to complement the content, and people want more. You know what I mean? I would actually argue that as a fan of Guitar Hero and Rock Band and stuff as I am, that should have been the same kind of thing where, hey, we'll apply this live service thing to it because people will pay for their songs and people will continue to use it and people will continue to enjoy it. Not everywhere does it fit, but in these kind of things where you can keep giving people interesting content over and over again, it seems to work well, no?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And there's a wealth of, they got most of the big killers, but they still don't have other killers like Art the Clown now, and then Jason, and then how they're branching off and making like, not really horror killers, like I said, like Vecna. Or now he's called the First is what they call him in the game, because they actually have D&D in there where they actually have the actual Vecna as from Dungeons and Dragons. So they call this one the First. And that's who he is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a wealth of content that they could do. They got Chucky in there, they got Michael Myers, they got Freddy Krueger.
Isn't that very weird, right? Like the Netflix show uses parlance from D&D, but is not in the D&D verse. But in this game, both exist, so they have to actually be able to live side by side. Where the Netflix show and D&D actually, that is kind of mind-boggling.
yeah, It's that weird kind of like dynamic.
Okay. See, I again, I love it when guests come on here and give me and provide attention to games that otherwise we wouldn't be playing or we wouldn't be talking about more often than not, because we don't play everything. Damn it, sometimes we go off and we do some weird things, and I will actually talk this week about some weird things that I'm doing. But yeah, it's great that you have some content to bring.
I was gonna say you play some weird stuff, but I mean it's really fun, weird, like cool stuff that I don't think would get highlighted, like you said. Like you do a lot of really cool. I think what was it? Gigasword. I never heard of it until you guys started mentioning it. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yep, we love Gigasword. We actually had the developer on. Shout out to Jack Breen, who was on last week. We love highlighting those small creators, those interesting ideas that people just have a spark and they go off and they do it, and it just brings joy to lots of people. And when you buy it, they actually eat from that. It's not some crazy corporation that just kind of sucks it in and you don't see anything. This is what they basically do to survive. So when we have the opportunity to highlight it, it's always great. So yeah, shout out to Jack and Gigasword if you haven't tried it.
What are you playing, sir?
Yeah, so for me, this week has been weird. So I have not. There's been a lot of work moving and shaking for me, and I've also had some interesting so I've been working on this little mini project on the side for a little while now, where I want to start doing a bit more content, showing people some of the background applications that I've been playing with and some of the UIs that I've been using and things like that. I'm trying to do some more tutorializing because, for example, a lot of friends of mine in the Discord and on Twitter and the like will reach out to me and say, hey man, I have this new handheld, like you do, Korkenstein. I have this new handheld and I would love to maybe put this old school game with it, put that old school game with it. Oh, I would love to play this arcade game there, or I would love to, to incorporate the retro into your current environment while they have that front screen FSC or whatever, right? So I'm just like, I've been telling people, oh, you got to do this. Oh, well, you got to do that. So now I'm just like, you know what? Why don't I just make like a tutorial video so that I could just like show it, how you do it and what tools you need, and you put it together, and hopefully more people get access to that. So I've been working on that in the background. So it's been taking my time away, but I have been playing some very interesting, odd stuff that I do want to share. And this is where I ask y'all, if you have not joined our Discord, you should, because we have a few initiatives afoot. One that I recently started that I'm rather proud of myself and pat myself on the back because it's very cool, and more people jumped in, and I am now all the better because more people jumped in. And what is this? This is a new little section in our Discord called Fan Made Stuff. Yes, that's right. It's called Fan Made Stuff. Now I keep like a collection in my bookmarks or on my Edge browser, where every time I come across a really cool, interesting project, I'll just bookmark it just to kind of check in on it from time to time, see how it goes. And there's been a really huge list of it. So now we have a section in our Discord called Fan Made Stuff that has a whole bunch of awesome games made by fans. Now, what is the criteria of a fan-made game? Usually it's any game made by a fan, but more often than not, it's games that are made using IPs that they don't own. Okay, so that means it's almost a complete game. Sometimes it's a demo or whatever, but it's using an IP they don't own. So let me give you one of my favorite examples, and then I'll actually tell you the game I've been playing for a while, because I've been playing that, and that to me is probably one of the creams of the crop as far as fan-made games are concerned. But like, I think I may have spoken about this game on this show before, and the game is called, let me see here, let me show some quick footage here. Excellent. The game is called Sonic Galactic. Yeah, that's right, Sonic Galactic. This is a fan-made game. I've actually been playing this on my Android handheld, which, by the way, I also want to do a video on how to get these PC games on the Android handheld. Lots of ideas. Anyway, but this is one of my favorite ones. This is made by a dude, just people, right? Like a team. And they love this stuff. They want to pay absolute respect to it, but it is not by Sega. It is not endorsed or owned or any way by Sega. So they are not allowed to sell it, right? So that means they want you to try it for the love of it. They want you to see how great it is, but you are not going to buy it. So you can just go get this today, right now, put it on your machine, play it, and have an awesome time because it is excellent, ladies and gentlemen. It is excellent.
That looks absolutely
so
amazing. That's awesome. I mean, especially with the IPs, because if they're not selling it, technically it's not IP for infringement. So they found a loophole.
Sir, we are about 20 to 25 games deep on the fan-made game stuff. And this is just one example of it. Man, I mean, some of these games are just like mind-blowingly cool. Like just, holy crap, I can't believe these people are doing this kind of stuff.
No One Lives Forever. The revival is real. I just saw that right now. Yes, that was one of my hands down like favorite from Monolith. That was like one of their first games too. I think was No One Lives Forever.
Indeed. Now for that one, so they know that they made I think 3 or 4 games. No One Lives Forever 1 and 2, and then a few other games which were in the No One Lives Forever universe.
Yeah.
This because they no longer exist and you can't buy it. A person took it upon himself to basically bring them back to life and stitch them together so you can play it all together in one big wonderful thing. And they were like, look, we're not going to charge anybody for it because we don't own it, but it's a fan-made game. Similarly, there's, for those who are huge fans, the what do you call it, X-Men, the arcade game, you know?
Yeah.
X-Men, if you recall from the stand-up arcade game. Yeah, they have the remake that you can play, like they put it out there, also remade that you can play on your handhelds or on your PC. Really awesome stuff. I see you in here. Yes, we also have that Metroid, another Metroid remake. Yes, another Metroid 2 remake. It is out there, and it's also on PC, which you can play. All of that is in our fan-made stuff Discord. And then shout out to other great community members who've added their games to it as well. They're like there's a Mario 64 kind of remake that is so good. It looks like they've made it in Unreal Engine 5. It's just it's just insane looking. Like what? It's just
that looks amazing. I have one I'll add later, but technically, well, it's fan made still, but it's using a pre-existing game, like you said. So, Star Wars Galaxies, people are trying to bring that MMO back. So I could add that in a little bit later.
Yeah. There you go. Excellent. But this is the thing. So join the Discord if you have a chance to. That's discord.gg/TGCP. Again, discord.gg/TGCP. That is the Gaming Circle Podcast. Discord.gg/TGCP. Join us. Either add the game you think we should know, or if you have no ideas, come be a part of it. Get access to the list. Play some of the games. We want to spur that conversation. You know, there's so many in that list right now. Like it's getting more and more massive. One of my favorite ones, besides this one, which as you can see, they've even made a 3D. Like, look at this.
Oh yeah,
this is all made by people.
That's insane.
It's all made just by people. It's just insane what these people have done. Like, just what they just do what you've always wanted them to do, and you're just like, you know what? Screw it. We're not gonna wait for Sega. We're just gonna do it ourselves because we just need it to exist.
Yeah, look at that.
You know?
I mean, and develop it I used to be a former developer. So like for those that know, I worked for Electronic Arts for years. And I worked on some of the classic IPs, and trust me, development is not an easy job. It takes a lot of passion, a lot of heart.
Yeah.
And so like my hats off to these guys right there. Cause that's amazing. The time and effort, the coding, the animation assets, all of that stuff.
All of that stuff, man.
It's not a copy paste.
No. And in many situations, they built all of this, and they had to build all this because this stuff doesn't exist. And they had to take existing assets. Just scraping the assets from the existing source is difficult enough, let alone repositioning and reusing them for your purposes. This is its own crazy, wild, like skill set. It's amazing what they've done.
And not only that, but creating actual dynamic, fun gameplay. Like, people don't really realize like what you're playing is actually specifically designed and for people to take it and make something of their own to make the gameplay invigorating and fun. That's a special skill set in its own. Not everybody can do it, as we've seen.
Indeed. Yep. Yep. And just so people understand, if you find yourself in our Discord in this section, like it's not complicated to get these things to run. Literally, we show you a photo of it. We give you a little brief description, and at the bottom a link to how to download. Most of these are just a installer, click, 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 play. Others just are a zip file. You unzip and you launch the executable. It's just that simple. They tend to be small projects by small creators, so they don't overcomplicate things. So we'll more videos and stuff to come in that realm. But just so you guys know, we're building that resource there. So if you ever feel like it, because look, we live in a world right now where, you know, I'll be frank with you, you know, gaming is becoming an even more expensive hobby than it used to be, both in the hardware and the software sense. So, you know, I've been mentally in my head anyway, just trying to. I take my responsibility as a thing that people listen, a resource that people listen to pretty seriously. So when you come to me and ask me for something recommendation wise, I want to make sure I'm respecting your time and your wallet. So now my recommendations tend to be what you already have, or something free that is just as awesome as something you would be paying for. So there's a lot of resources there, you know. So I'm going to try and highlight a bit more of that as the time comes. So, you know, there's that. One of the best fan-made games that I've actually been playing over the holiday season. Like, I've been playing this thing for many months now, and like when I say this, people might think it's blasphemy, but like hear me on this. We all know that Half-Life, the game, the IP Half-Life, is the OG of OGs. It's the source of all. And see what I did there? Source. If you know, you know. You know, it's the OG. Right? And all of the new IPs and all of the new modern games built on the bones that Half-Life built, the Half-Life created in a major sense. But today, I would have a hard time telling a young person to go seek out and play Half-Life 1. It is a difficult game to play today. Half-Life 2 or any of those, it's all good. Let's go. You can play those today. But Half-Life 1, exactly, like specifically Half-Life 1, that is very hard for me to recommend to people to play, just because modern games, modern sensibilities, all that, right? And Half-Life 1 is kind of in a bit of a black hole when it comes to that, you know? So enter Black Mesa. I don't know if you've seen or heard of Black Mesa. Have you heard of Black Mesa before?
Yes, I have. Okay. I haven't really gotten into it that much, but I've seen it around on Steam or somewhere. I think didn't they have actually, like, they made its side thing and then you can actually get it on Steam and stuff like that? Or is that G-Man?
So this is what I'm saying. Black Mesa is the greatest fan-made game ever. And it's so great that I would recommend you play this instead of Half-Life 1. How great is it? It is so great that Valve saw this project being made by fans and blessed it to the point where it's now a complete product that Valve themselves stand behind and you can buy in their store. That's how great this fan-made game is. The greatest of fan-made games, which remakes the greatest of OG games to the point where I'm telling you, if you're going to teach somebody what this lineage was, don't go play Half-Life 1. Play Black Mesa and then play Half-Life 2. It's that good. That's the quality of it, the graphics. Right, oh, it's so good. And this is all made by fans. I got into this back when it wasn't a complete product. Back when it was like, you know, a half a beta product that you could only play like half or a quarter of. And now it's absolutely complete. You know, like completely complete. Like you can just go buy it. And every single Steam sale, this thing goes, I think, like almost under $10 or something like it. It's like super cheap to get your hands on. It like basically what it is in an elevator pitch sense, it retells the story of Half-Life 1. Right? It's a remake of Half-Life 1. That's what this is, right? So you're Mr. Freeman. You know, you go through the whole story. I'm not gonna belabor it here because you know the story if you know what Half-Life is. People have been wanting Half-Life 3 forever and a day. You know, this is what made the crowbar famous. All of that. Yeah. You know, this is what this is that.
It took what FPS was at the time, which is boomer shooters, and created a narrative experience out of it. Like, this is the father of the narrative first person kind of gameplay that everybody has done.
Yes. And Gentle Stone asks, shout out to Gentle Stone, always a great member of our community here on a Saturday morning. He asked, do you need Half-Life 1 in your library to play Half-Life 2 or Black Mesa? No, sir. It used to be a mod in that way. Now it is a separate product that you must purchase. This is one of the only ones that I'm recommending that should be purchased, but they worked on it. It's a complete product. They got endorsement from Valve, so they put it on the store. So this one I would say you must purchase, and you should purchase. But yeah, like I'm sure if you really dig, you might be able to find like a version of it that's free out there. But I would recommend you purchase it because it is a worthy remake. Like it really is. And of course, it was remade and released, I think in 2020. So it's many years now. So any piece of hardware that you bought in any recent years will crush this from a hardware perspective. It'll play on anything. So, you shouldn't have a problem running it. So I would recommend you purchase it. If the price, I don't know what the price is now, but if the price is a little high for you, wait until the Steam sales. This thing always goes into deep discount. So I would buy it anyway, and I'd purchase it and I'd play it. But yeah, this is the remake of Half-Life 1, and I would say, it's a worthy remake. Oh, I'm being asked, what's the difference? There are no differences between this one and Half-Life, the OG Half-Life, except the very ending. So the very ending, there are pieces, and I won't spoil it, but the original Half-Life didn't actually finish the ending, right? It kind of touched on the ending and then boop, you're gone, right? But later on, they talked about how they were gonna finish the ending. So these guys literally, as they were building the game, spoke with Valve and actually built the ending that Valve was going to build into the end of this. So that's the difference. They actually got some input from Valve and finished it up. So if you were to play this and then play Half-Life 1, you'll see the end will just be like a little different. And then this one has a bit more content towards the end than the original one didn't, which they've got. That's where the feedback came from. So it's pretty cool. I love that this thing exists. I want more and more people to play. It's been around forever at this point, but to me, the ultimate fan-made game. When you get the OGs and the creator of the content to go, yes, you are blessed. Go forth and be your own thing. So that's it. It's called Black Mesa.
It's $20 right now, but it looks like it just went on sale for $5 during the winter sale. So
this is what I'm saying. So
you can get it.
Keep an eye out.
On sale.
Yes. Keep an eye out. It's a worthy game. It's all that. So yeah. But again, join the Discord. There's so many games like this. I'm playing a game called Streets of Rage X, which combines Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 into one. And like it's just like yes. I'm playing this Avengers beat 'em up, where you're literally walking down the street with it's like the old Avengers games that you remember, but it's got 30 characters, 30 playable characters.
30. Wow.
Yes,
and that's like custom created assets too, right? The art assets and stuff.
They went into the X-Men bag and found all the other characters that you would want to play as and brought them in. It's
dude,
freaking
that's
cool.
amazing.
And all of it free 99 because they can't sell it.
Yeah.
All of it available to you to play today. You don't even have to pay anything. So join the Discord. If you know of some, because if you know of some, join us and tell us the cool projects. I'm going to be adding more and more into that as well. Also, and another plug to join our Discord. Starting the coming week, we're getting into it, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting into it. What am I talking about? We are trying to find ourselves the ultimate list of lists. We're building the biggest list available, which is the list of OGs, the greatest of all time games of your preferred platform. The first candidate in the gauntlet would be the Nintendo NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. What we had a couple of weeks ago, we had all of our community members just throw out games they love, and they put it in the community section. We aggregated all of them together. We put them all together, and we came up with 64 games. They need to be turned into 10 games. And now, this week coming, that is the conversation we will be having in our Discord. So if you want to join it, now, when I say we're having this conversation, I mean, we're really having this conversation. We're not typing it on our little phones. No, we're getting in there. We're putting headphones on. We're getting into the voice chat, and we are having it. Sometimes we're like 20 people strong in that voice chat, and we have a host, and we're deliberating. We're going back and forth. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. How do you think Mr. Everborn Saga became so damn hoarse?
Yeah,
so join us.
That checks out.
So this week we'll be doing that. Yes, yes. This week we'll definitely be doing that. So, if you have your now the time to enter in your games is a little too late right now. It's still a little too late, at least for the NES. The other platforms are still available. You can enter yours in there right now. Shout out to Mr. Pixelbit G, sir. Shout out to you. I will reach out to you in the background. I'll show you what I'm talking about with the Avengers game, bro. I got you. I saw you in there. He's like, "What Avengers game, sir?" We got you, bro. Yes, but you can join. You can still add your list into any of the other platforms, but the NES one is locked, and we're starting that one. But if you want to be a part of it, be a part of the voting block. Anyone who's in the voice chat gets to vote with us. Gets to be like, "Hey, man, I think this game is better than that game." We'll hold a vote, and ultimately at the end we will have a concise list of all of our favorite games from every platform. That's what we're driving towards. But NES is first. So join us next week. We do this while we're working, by the way. So it's not like, take some time away or whatever. Nah, we're in the chat. We got headphones on. Somebody's like, I'll be right back. I got a work call. I'm like, all right, cool. We wait. And then somebody else jumps in.
There it is. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
I was like, how is Mike Tyson's Super Punch Out not in the top of the list? But I see it now.
I just it's in the lister. Yeah.
I just can't read.
There we go. Yes. So we'll be getting into all of that, but there's still time for all the others. Hey, you see now, Gentle Stone, you see he's saying he hopes Who Framed Roger Rabbit is on the list.
That's a good one.
Maybe you need to jump on that situation to get in the list. There's still time. We're still deliberating on some of the final rules. I'm thinking of putting a wild card in there just to kind of throw some curveballs if somebody thinks of something great like this and needs to add into the mix for voting purposes. You know what I'm saying? So yes, join the Discord, add yours to the list. It's not on there.
It's not on there. Oh, that's a good one. There.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. So join the Discord and let's get that going. Next week, we'll be doing a lot of that. So yeah, a lot of fun to be had. But all right, man. So thanks to all the great people who are in the chat right now. Thank you guys for being here as you are. I see a lot more folks in here. Mr. Everborn Saga is sounding like Marge Simpson, so he is not going to be with us today. He's been yelling in our Discord for too much this week, so his voice is a little bit beaten and battered. So he's probably sitting there sipping his tea, putting his middle finger salute right now at me as we speak. Yeah. But yes,
wishing you well, Everborn. Wishing you well.
Indeed.
Recovery.
Indeed. Yep. So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I've been playing as well in the Discord, and there's a lot of content there. So come join us. But I think it's time we should move on to talk about some of the crazy stories that have been running around. There's a lot of different places. I think I sent you a couple things. You want to get into the leak first, or where do you think you want to go?
I think we should get a little bit more of the business talk, I think, out of the way, and then we can save the fun leak stuff for last. The meta closing down stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's a good place to kind of jump in on.
Sir, okay, so a lot of, I wasn't sure if people were gonna care as much as I care. I wasn't sure, honestly, because yes, people have been all about the whole meta VR. Oh, we don't care about VR thing. I love my VR headset, right?
Yeah.
I love my VR headset. I'm patiently waiting for my Steam frame. I'm excited for it. There's the man, right? There's the man. And any man who's a VR user uses a hard, like actual proper headset, not that Velcro crap they sent you day one. Like, get out of here with that.
No, the thing that always falls off,
always falls. Yes.
You're playing VR and all of a sudden you're like, and then your headset's just like yoink, just right off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, as much as I'm not the best fan, I'm not the biggest fan of Facebook. I was one of the first to have an account. I don't remember the last time I logged into it. I was one of the first backers of Oculus. I loved Oculus with my whole heart. I was on the Kickstarter campaign from day one. I had the first I have loved that company and that idea, because I think VR is the future. I think VR is the truth. Ever since I don't remember how old I was when I read Snow Crash, and I was like, yep, the metaverse is real, baby. That's where we're going, right? Like that's just it. So I've always expected that this is where we would head, right? Ready Player One is a great book, even though the writer's an idiot. Hey, it is what it is. I loved that book, all that. So I've loved this sector, and I've always expected it to grow, and I wanted it to grow. I would say like they changing it to meta made me a little salty. It is what it is. And
Yeah.
them buying up all these developers. Initially, I was like, hey, they're doing great work, because there are some games that I will tell you to this very day, like a lot of people that don't love this space will point to, oh, they have experiences, they don't have games. If you want me to convince you that this is worthy and a worthy place to play, I have a few games to share with you. And if I share them with you, after I share them with you, if you're a gamer like me, I bet you'll be convinced, right? But what they're doing right now, oh, it's so sad, bro. So
It really is.
Yeah,
And it's
they
not the
bought up
developer's
all
fault.
these.
It's
No.
Meta's poor business planning that's doing it.
Yep.
That's the sad part. It's like the developers created amazing games, and because of poor business decisions by Meta, they're suffering the consequences.
Yep. And what's so sad about this is they're taking so many amazing developers with them, and it's just so sad. Remember the Order 1886 folks? Yeah, they got their heads cut as part of this situation. And they made an amazing game. And then, of course, Meta bought them. We were like, okay, we'll see what they do. They made some awesome VR games, and now they're gone, right?
That was Ready at Dawn?
Ready at Dawn, yeah, they're gone, right? And in addition to them, initially, that was some time ago. Now, Twisted Pixel is getting basically laid off. Sinzaru, which, if you don't know who Sinzaru is, they made there are two really good meta games out there that are pretty awesome, like Scope and Scale. It's about Thor and the mythologies and all of this. I forget the name of the game. It escapes me at this moment.
Asgard's Wrath?
That's the one. Asgard's Wrath 1 and 2. The first one was on PC, so you could use your big rig to make it run amazing. The second one was exclusively on the headset, so it definitely like suffered as far as visually, but they did the best they could with the hardware. Those two games, to this very moment, I would say are like transcendent experiences for anyone who's never played in VR. It's so good. I think it's like a 90-hour RPG with just like all the depth of it all. Like, you know, the first time you walk in, you're walking on the Bifrost, and you're just looking around, and it's just like you look up, and it's just like God tier scale. It's epic stuff.
It got a lot of 9s and 10s too. I think it has a pretty like a 90 Metacritic or OpenCritic. It's like it's no joke. It's a serious contender for like RPGs and what really you can do in the VR world.
Yeah, man. Like, these guys are not gone because the game sucked. These guys are gone because the games were transcendent experiences, and they could not convince the population that it was worthy to try it.
Well,
so now all of them
they also it's bad because they locked it down just to the meta. I get it. You're trying to do exclusives. You want to bring people into your ecosystem only, but you're already selling to a niche market. And now you make it even more niche by putting up walled gardens. Like, come on, man. Like, you're just shooting yourself in the foot at that point. I mean, yes, Meta, probably the Quest is probably the most casual, consumer-friendly VR to get people actually into your ecosystem at a good, affordable price. But you really didn't market VR as well as like things you can do more than just play games. You know, and that's why the casual consumer isn't really buying into this, is because they need a reason more than just games. Like, maybe you can watch concerts, you know, maybe you can learn a new skill, maybe you could do really cool stuff. But Meta's just like, here's video games, and that's already a niche market on, you know, in that atmosphere, you know, in that ecosystem. So it's just bad business, and I just don't think it sucks because, like you said, these are solid developers. I think even Camouflage. They got shut down, and they did the Arkham Shadows game, that's one of the best Batman games ever.
God tier stuff. And what did you get for it? You know, and here, if you know us enough on this show, we're about the marriage. We're not about the business necessarily. We'll talk about the business. We enjoy talking business. But if a game is good, a game is good. And we will champion it from the rooftops. We have, on many occasions, championed games that you've probably never heard of, that may never make a big splash, but damn it, it's good. And a lot of these games that got cut were by developers who make amazing games. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't matter. You know, it's so sad, man. It's so sad. But yeah, I will let the great BT Maverick his comments here speak, because he's absolutely right. he says he stopped buying games on Meta a couple years ago, and he's sticking with Steam VR, and he just wants to see Lone Echo and Asgard's Wrath and Batman brought to Steam. Sir, your lips to God's ears. I completely agree. Just like you were saying, Korkenstein, like just those references he's made there, those are some of the Mount Rushmore of games. When you play Lone Echo 1, I guarantee you can be the most hater of VR haters of VR haters. If you have an open mind and you put on that headset and you play Lone Echo Part 1, after you're done, I bet you'll say, okay, I get it now. Yeah. That game is, and the way that your partner interacts with you, I don't think I've ever played a game like quite so interactive with that character before. No matter what you do, it sees you. It's like it's a real person that like I would try and break the game. So she's having like a serious moment, and then I'll like I go do one of these things, and she'll be like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Awesome. Like it's really good. Yeah.
When you get that immersion.
Like, exactly. It's so cool. But yeah, so at this point, it's a very sad state. It looks like all the investment they made in that realm is being shifted towards AI and towards all that other, wearable, in the real world stuff, which don't get me wrong, I do see what they're building as far as the glasses that allow you to see like the real world and all that. Right? They built
the AR lenses.
That's right. They built a prototype that was like almost 10K or whatever, and now they're trying to get it down to like normal purchasable levels. So now they're shifting seemingly all their resources to this purpose, and now because of that they're cutting a bunch of stuff that I still think is really, really useful and necessary. It's just so sad, but yeah.
And you need something that's going to be a reoccurring revenue. So like a lot of VR games are just one and done, which is it's not bad, but when you're looking at a studio on how you can generate that reoccurring revenue, you can't just keep putting out one and done games. You got to have something in the back chamber that's generating money for you guys.
Is that me, or is that the great Dr. Dry Rub? Joey's in the chat, and he's asking, does anyone want the entire trifecta of Steam of Tomb Raider Steam keys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. God dang, that is a lot of games. And of course, I'm sure he's about to drop them codes right now. So bots, get your fingers ready. The man's probably going to unload on you. Shout out to the great Dr. Dry Rub. Pause. That was pause worthy. My bad. That was pause worthy. Thank you, sir. Thanks, I appreciate
it. You said it, and I was like, wait, what?
Hey, man. Everborn Saga is not here, so you must hold up court. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good job. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But yeah, shout out to Dr. Dry Rub. Always here, always generous, and also a great member of our Discord. So shout out to you, Joey. Appreciate you, bro. But yes, this is very sad to me. What this tells me is chances are there's not much in the world for VR. Like, although here's the flip side of it. You still got Valve over here coming out with the Steam frame.
Yeah.
Which is like transcending to next levels of VR, although they're doing it a different way. So we'll see how that works.
And Meta,
go ahead.
Meta was like, oh yeah, we're still dedicated to gaming. Who's left? You tanked all your studios. How are you still dedicated to gaming and you have no studios? Like, come on now.
How are you dedicated to gaming when you don't have anyone making games?
Yeah. That's it makes zero sense.
0 cents, man. 0 cents. And it is sad state of affair. I will tell you, there was a time where to me, that was their saving grace. I'm not a fan of Meta. To me, Meta, that whole situation, I've not been a fan of for a long time. But this was their saving grace for me. They were the only ones propping up VR in a real way, like in a gaming real way. And now it looks like even they have shifted focus. So now it's back on to Valve, which, have they learned to release the game recently? I don't think they still know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see, especially when they just licensed like Marvel's Deadpool VR, which got also good reviews of not just being a tie-in game that's just cheaply made. And then they're like, yep, you just released a new game, you're gone. So I don't know. I wish VR was more popular. I think if anybody could do it, it was Meta. But seeing these changes, I think you're right. It seems they're going to change and shift focus to AR versus VR, and that seems to
Even
be the
they
market.
who threw billions of dollars at it eventually just called it quits, which is so sad to me. You
Yeah.
know, so sad. You know, and even PlayStation, who could have also done some, kind of seemed
Yeah.
to have just petered out. You know,
Well, they did the
each
same
brought
thing.
great hardware.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
the same thing. They locked it down to just one ecosystem. Like you're already in a niche market as is, and then you're like, you know what? Let's cut our consumer base even more. Let's just lock people out of trying to access and play our games even more. Like that's gonna make us money. that's gonna get people invested in our ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just really don't get it.
Now Sony did that twice, which was hilarious to me. Well, they had many sins with the whole place with the
Yeah.
with our efforts. They had many sins there. One, you release a first bit of hardware you release was subpar by everyone's measure, because in VR specifically, like the hardware equals the eye quality, the vision quality, which
Mhm.
equals vomiting. Right.
Yeah.
So it is the literal explanation of you get what you pay for. You better hope that the first experience that your customer base gets is the best, because otherwise they will hate you forever. And what did you do? You didn't even give them the best. It was the worst one. Oh my God. It was,
You got people throwing up playing your VR system. Like, come on, man.
and those of us
what are
that
we
got
doing?
excited about this tech were reading up on it all in all. And that was the first thing they would say. Do not put your phone on your face. That's a bad idea. Do not, because you're needing 90 hertz per eye. We live in
Yeah.
a world where 60 frames per second is hard to get. You're trying to get 90 per eye. You're trying to keep it. Otherwise, your brain goes, "Ugh," it's not real, right?
Yeah, it doesn't know what to process. Yeah, and it just
Exactly.
it throws off your equilibrium.
Yeah. So they released this thing that is subpar, but it keeps the wheels turning. Fine. You finally release great hardware, both in the headset and in the hardware front, in the PS5 and the PSVR 2, right? First off, you don't back compat it. So anyone who bought into your ecosystem day one now has to rebuy all their games.
Yeah, that was once I heard that, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to invest in, because I had a PSVR. I had the first one. And then I was thinking about getting the 2. And then once they're like, yeah, you're going to have to rebuy everything, I was like, all right, here you go. I'm selling this
And
off.
to
I
your
traded
point,
into GameStop for like $10.
There you go. They locked in all the people into the ecosystem, so the games themselves wouldn't grow, right? And then to the point, again, they screwed up. Then they go, oh, I guess PlayStation people don't want it. We'll put it on PC, but the PC person must also have a PlayStation for it to work. I'm like, y'all are just completely lost. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh.
So now you're paying just to get into VR. You're doing this like those mega price Steam prices, or not Steam, but those mega like VR headset where you're having to drop $1K just to get into the ecosystem. No one's gonna do that.
Don't worry, you can play it without the PlayStation. All you'll just have to lose is the eye tracking, which you want, the HDR, which you want. Look, why do I want that then?
Yeah, why? What would be the point? I might as well just again go back to wearing your phone on your face, at that point.
Yeah. But it is what it is. These companies all seem to spin around these waters as well. I was just so sad. And then the thing that completely sealed the deal for me on the PlayStation VR, you kill the greatest service that you offer on your service in the form of dreams. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You release the greatest headset you have. All you needed to do to make PC people everywhere buy this thing in droves is say, guess what? It's a Steam machine or a Dream machine.
Yeah.
That's it. PSVR 2, Dream machine. Because inside Dream was Halo, was Mario Brothers, was people had built so many awesome games in that thing. It was turning into Roblox in there.
Yeah.
And then they killed it before they released the PSVR 2.
Makes absolutely no sense. I wonder if they're like, how can we market this? How can we make money from this on Dreams and all this other stuff that, and maybe they're like, this might kind of get away from us. We might not be able to like kind of see any kind of revenue or anything from this. Let's just shut it down. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand,
Sadness, man. Sadness. But yeah, them's the breaks. It is what it is. So it looks to me, unless of course, Valve shows up in a big way and says, "Hey, here's the Steam frame, and here's a bunch of new initiatives and a bunch of games we're going to push towards it or whatever." Right? Like my dream has been all of a sudden one day Epic wakes up and goes, "Hey, all we need to do is put like Fortnite in VR and the world will be ours." Like I'm waiting for them to do that. Like that's all they need to do now. Put Fortnite in VR. And now you have the Ready Player One dream, because that's what it is. That's the metaverse right there. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to do it. Until they do, though, I don't know who's championing VR anymore. It's unfortunate. The hardware looks cool, at least the Valve hardware, that is. But once it releases, I don't know where we're going. I'm very sad about it. But yes. So rant over. I know not everybody loves VR around here. Rant over. I'm fine. Welcome to my TED Talk.
That's why I figure we'll get this one out of the way, and then we can go into a little bit more fun conversations.
Okay.
Bring the mood back
up
a little bit.
All right. So even though Mr. Everborn Saga is not here, we are going to unfortunately have some on the real stuff without him, because man, the show must go on. By the way, if you are here, salute to y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I see a bunch of y'all in the chat and also watching. Hit the like button if you haven't done so, please. We appreciate you. You know, we're starting the year off fresh, rekindling with our reconnecting with our consumer base, as it were. Please let us know you appreciate what we're doing here by hitting that like button. Maybe tell a friend that we're here and we're doing what we're doing. But yeah, you and I are we're gonna have this conversation because like as if Mr. Everborn Saga was here, we ain't gonna let this go without some slanderous conversation here, which is. And by the way, Dr. Dry Rub was very, very much on point as far as timing was concerned. Him releasing all those codes, because we're talking about Tomb Raider, ladies and gentlemen, Tomb Raider, which we got some news about this week.
Yeah.
What do we get? We heard that Sophie Turner will be the new Tomb Raider. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what we're talking about here. Sophie Turner is the new Tomb Raider. Okay? All right. Now, I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. I've been a big Tomb Raider fan for a long time. I remember all the OG franchises that have been modernized, right? I'm talking about the Hitmans. I have all the OG Hitmen. And now they've been revised in the world of assassinations. Really awesome, right? I'm talking about the OG like Tomb Raiders, right? Which like I would call this a triangle boob era.
Yeah.
Forgive me. This is the triangle boob era, the Tomb Raider, right?
And they actually had somebody was like, yeah, you know, like the meme where it was like the perfect, perfection meme and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is what gamers really want in. So they had this, and then he's like more, and then they do this, and then they do like the new Lara Croft one, and it's like more, and then they put this picture, but they like AI triangled boobs on her, and it's like perfection. This is what gamers really wanted.
I'm serious. This is straight up triangle boob era. Like I've seen some people like be a little bit more pejorative and say that it looks like cosplay. I kind of can see that a little bit, but maybe it's because usually when they show you these videos or these still images, it's not color corrected for image or for movie or show.
Yeah.
So once it is, you will get that. She is British herself. You've seen her in Game of Thrones, which she did in Game of Thrones. I wouldn't call her the breakout talent, but she was no slouch, right? So no slander there. Maybe. And I see you in there, Miss Gentle Stone. Maybe it's because Angelina is my triangle boob era.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. That was the Lara Croft back in the day for us. Like if you had to envision somebody back in the day, like in the 90s and stuff, as Lara Croft, it would be Angelina Jolie.
I'm sorry. Forgive me for all those who are watching this, having your morning breakfast with the kiddos. I'm trying to keep it PG, but come on now. This is the triangle boob era.
Yeah. That's just what it was back in the day. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they didn't have the polygons to actually make it round. It was just triangle.
Yeah. And honestly, like all respect to the actress. I'm sure that she worked really hard at it. I'm sure that it's going to be, and I will be there day one because I've watched all this. I've watched the cartoons. I've played all the games. I've watched the most modern movies and the original movies. I've played them, and I've seen the most modern TV shows too, the Netflix TV show, which I'm not sure how people felt about it, but I actually liked it. But to me, honestly, I like the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider better. The look of the modern Tomb Raider, that to me is the modern Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah,
I'm sad
I'd
that
agree.
after that movie, she's not getting another chance at it. To me, this is kind of regressing a little bit.
And it's fair because it does look like, and you're right, they're not going to color grade it yet, but it does kind of look like cheap cosplay. But I mean, granted though, back in the, I mean, her costume though isn't really that in depth. You know, it's basically a tank top and short shorts and holsters. So there's not a lot of depth there that they really could. And I feel like they're kind of in a rock and a hard place. Either you go this route where you keep it simple, or you try and reinvent the character and you piss off a lot of hardcore people. So, a lot of the hardcore gamers and stuff. So I get it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm kind of indifferent. I want to see what she can bring to the table as Lara Croft. Right now, this doesn't give me a lot of hope. But I will always.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I'm agreeing with you 100%. Keep going.
I always give my rule of thumb for watching TV shows and stuff is I'll give a show one season, whether I hate it off the rip or I'm like, this is so just hard to get through. I'll at least give it one season because I want to see the direction they want to go in. So I'll definitely give this a go. I can't see, I could see their outrage, and not the outrage, but I could see why people are disappointed with this. I wonder though, like if it's for me, it's the red glasses. Like I know that's like classic Tomb Raider 3, but it just seems so corny, like just cheesy and corny.
It ups the ante on the cheese, bro. It ups the ante on the cheese. That's where it gets into cosplay. Ooh, hey, now I'm not trying to go there. That's where it gets into cosplay territory. The glasses and it's like we've moved beyond the Flash. Right? At least as the character, because we're trying in the modern era, you're trying to embody the character as best as possible. And as I've seen it, it works best when they move beyond the Flash and get into the real nitty gritty of it. And I would say that with the modern Tomb Raider remakes, both in the cartoons and the games and all that new content, they have done that, right? They've kind of been like, oh, if she was this person, this is what she would look like. This is how she would be. This is her body type. Like they've kind of been a bit more accurate rather than back in the day when it was like made for, the male gaze, if you will. This seems to be a bit of a regression to that point. That's all I'm saying. No shade to those who like the old school. I'm not saying it's bad, but real quick, here's an example, right? So for those who did not partake of the new modern times, this is Alicia Vikander. This is the quote unquote modern Tomb Raider from the modern Tomb Raider. This is Tomb Raider, right? I think this is a far better representation. Like
I do too.
Soft spoken, she is gritty by the nature of the events that are taking place, right? Like it was cool. I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think it was like the perfect film by any stretch, but it was room to grow. Just right?
go back real quick. You could see that. I mean, then again, we're saying because of the color grading, and then now go back to the other picture.
Yeah. Because the color grading, like you can definitely tell the color grading matters.
The difference in like stature and like character, like you just see that it's trying hard to be like that confident, sexy, but then when you go back to the other one, you could just see like it's just there's a grittiness there. There's something there where it's just tough. And then you see the other one and it's not there. It's like, oh, I'm going to model and I'm going to pose.
I think the
grittiness
mistake,
there.
The mistake that I feel is made sometimes by the decision makers here is people play it up for the male gaze sometimes, and they think that'll attract people. But what you find is the person who is accurate in their actual environment, doing it to the best of their ability in that environment, is far more attractive to the male gaze than someone just putting it up for the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, this is far more accurate and far more interesting watching her, because when you watch this movie, and I'm being absolutely speculative here, forgive me, When you watch this movie, you are like, you're in it. It was great. Like there were times where you weren't sure she was gonna make it, and it was all like, yeah, you know what I mean. And when she succeeded, obviously she would, but it was believable, right? This character played here is played for the sexiness and the cam and all of that, and I feel like it takes away from the character a bit.
They would have been much better doing like a gritty shot of her, like actually, like maybe I don't think they started doing the production yet, but like at least, you know, toughen her up, get a, you know, a little like dirt like the other one, you know, maybe a cut or two, like, because that was what Lara Croft was. She was tough, she was smart, but she was also very gritty and tough, and she, you know, she can handle her own. Like, this just doesn't inspire that kind of confidence. And it's not to say, you know, I'm not trying to bash her or anything like that, but it just doesn't inspire that confidence in seeing this. It just seems like she's just there for, like you said, the male gaze in a sense, versus, you know, I'm a smart,
it feels like a regression.
Strong woman.
Yes, it feels like a regression. It feels like, hey, we know what you want. You know, that's how it feels like. Which it doesn't have to be that way. Because look, let's call it a buck. Let's call a spade here. I'm not saying make her ugly. I'm not saying, you know, make her unattractive. The boys will come to the yard. It is what it is. But
sorry, I just
don't have to play it up. You know,
I just saw. Oh, I can't even pronounce that name. But it says Tom Holland as Lara Croft seems better to me. Just put a wig on.
Oh man, that is hilarious, bro.
Laura Drake or Nathan Croft.
Oh man, and you know what? I love that you've made that comparison, because we're about to get into it, sir. We are about to. I'm telling you, Korkenstein is here. We had a short little back and forth about this before, so y'all gonna hear this from us before, but. As Korkenstein is here fulfilling the Everborn Saga role, we must get into it. I have to possibly be the bad guy, the villain of this piece, clearly. But continuing on in this world, because I honestly, I don't like this at all. I think this right here is unfortunate. But again, as Korkenstein says, and rightly so, we got to let the vision play out, and then we can ultimately, you know, make our determination. This is not me saying this sucks. This is me saying I'm concerned. Right. Once the movie's out, once the show is out, whatever, we'll regroup. If I'm wrong, I want to be wrong, because I love this franchise. I do. I love Crystal Dynamic. I love Eidos, all of them, for being a part of that franchise, or creating that franchise. So I hope this thing continues to be great. I even love the Netflix stuff. I think it was really cool. Well done. So I hope this doesn't ruin things, but I hope I'm wrong. Right. So let's move on to another bit of on the real-esque conversation. And this is where we go have some conversations about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I'm talking about is, yes, I made the cover for it, and salute to the cover artist. I didn't make that, but I think it spelled it out for me quite well, which is that the actor who originally played Thor in the video game is now playing Kratos in God of War. Okay, now this is a TV show, as I understand it, and once again, shout out to all the great people in this chat, many of whom we've already had some kind of a deliberation about this on Discord. Some people agree, some people disagree. I see you in here, Lucius. Shout out to Lucius. Shout out to the great Infinite Umber, also giving codes away and stuff. Shout out to Infinite Umber. Shout out to you with the Mortal Kombat Excel codes and whatnot. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for being here and being so generous with your time and giving games and whatnot. But yeah, we've all had these conversations in the past, in the recent past, as the news came out. Again, I will give it a shot. You know, I need to see as all the chips fall, right? But my two initial points of worry or concern: one, while I enjoyed how he played Thor, because I think Thor was necessary because of the way they'd set up the way the vibe was in God of War, right? Because let's be honest, that God of War was you set up a mafia family. Did you see who they got to be Odin? It was hilarious. It was very funny. It was very. It's like you might as well see him in a business suit. He's like, yes, I'm here to do nothing. You know, it was hilarious. But they played it up with all these.
That was your Marlon Brando.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like it was very.
Couldn't make
It
you
was
an offer
very,
you
very
can't refuse.
yeah, exactly. You know, it was hilarious. The way they played it, and I knew exactly what they were doing. They chewed the scenery. I thought it was great, but that's what made Thor work for me. He was like a country drunk.
Yeah,
That was Thor, right? He was you know, that was Thor, right? And even his mannerisms and the way he spoke was very much in that way. And as Umbra has also pointed to before, and I agree with, we tend to be a bit more sensitive to audio. I'm a musician from way back, as is Umbra, and he himself is an aspiring voice actor. So like tones matter. As Thor, I don't know about Kratos. I need to be convinced a bit, right? Secondly, and here's where we had our disagreement, I think, and the chat, you can tell me what you think of this. Secondly, I think it is, and this is a thing that concerns me greatly. Back in the day when Scarlett Johansson got a role to play a character in I forget the name of the movie now. Jesus, I even mentioned it.
Ghost
Ghost in the Shell. Thank you.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day when she got that role, which the movie itself was a decent film, I actually enjoyed it, but she was slandered to high hell because the character needed a bit more authenticity, and her California-looking ass, forgive me, that's my one, didn't suit the bill, right? Even though by and large,
I felt like that was a shot at me. Like me, I took a stray bullet. How did I get a stray bullet on that?
I didn't do that for you. But if the bullet fits, it is what it is. I didn't do that for you. But in general, it seemed to be like that was the bulk of the criticism, right? Like the character, the essence of the character needed a bit more authenticity, and didn't have it, right? So people kind of slandered her a bit. I think she even put out a statement at some point, but that was a sign of its time, right? Now, this to me kind of washes away Kratos' authenticity as well, as even said by the creator of Kratos in the form, right? Like he is a Mediterranean man, and this guy is a Viking. Make no mistake.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. I can see, again, just like Sophie Turner, I could see the concern. I could definitely see that the kind of contrast and stuff like that of there. And yeah, because I think the hardest part here is going to be the voice, because we're already used to that, boy, that real, deep. And, when he was Thor, he kind of had that, but it was no Kratos. And I don't know. I'm with you. My biggest concern is the voice, the look. I think he has the look. And that's,
he can make it look at the beard. He can make it work. They got to shave his head. They better shave his damn head. If they don't shave his head,
yeah. They better shave. Yeah, they better shave. Just I can see the look. He fits the piece. My biggest concern is the voice, because I already know they're gonna color grade him. They'll give him olive skin, I guess, through the color grading and whatever else it is.
See that to me is oh.
Well, they'll probably tan him up a little bit. Who knows?
True.
I mean, or like Lucius and I were talking about in the Discord, is they'll do the typical sepia film, or LUT. They'll put the sepia LUT over it,
grade everything. Yes, make it look all old and stuff.
It's the desert. It's the desert one, the Mexico filter, the whatever it is. It's that orangish kind of. And I'm sure that's what they're going to end up do. They'll just LUT the crap out of it just to make him fit until he gets his the ash of his family over him and stuff like that.
Shout out to Eastside Vandal, another new member of our community. He says they're just going to slap a ball cap on him and call it a day.
Yeah,
I hope you're wrong. That would be terrible. Come on. Don't slap a ball cap on this man. Make him shave his head.
Dedicate to the role.
Exactly. We need to see the, come on now. Now, what do you think of this? I was saying, what about the great, now we've seen him do this before. What about Momoa?
Yeah. I think you and I both agreed on that one, that Momoa would have been a really good choice for this role.
Right now, he probably has he's too much in the game right now. There's no world where he shaves his hair. I don't think he shaves his hair. Even though I would think he'd need to shave his hair, he wouldn't shave his hair. And I think he could play the role because like his breakout role, he basically played this role already anyway, I think.
Yeah. No, you're right. You know? Yeah, as Khal
in Game of Thrones, in Khal Drogo. Exactly, right? So I think he could have done oh man. All right. Let's address some of these super chats because this is just too much.
Yeah,
bro.
I just saw that.
He said, and it's me, the broke boy, with $2 super chat. He says, so Tom Holland's gonna be a Atreus.
Dude, Tom Holland catching strays too over here now too. That's the second Tom Holland comment.
But it's Sony. Come on, you know Tom Holland got to be in there somewhere. Come on, Tom Holland can't stay away from Sony at this point. You know.
Yeah, Momoa would have been a good choice. I think, but I think he's wrapped up with Lobo, but I don't know if you get like, the Pedro Pascal kind of burnout, where it's like, he's in another thing again, and then you don't really get to like associate that with Kratos. You're going to associate him with Aquaman, or Lobo or things like that.
At this point, having him on the project would just blow your budget. Right. Yeah. Had you had this idea during the Khal Drogo days, as soon as he was done and killed off or whatever, that's when you could have scooped him up, because at that point he would have still been relatively cheap for you, and it would have kind of kept his zeitgeist going, and it would have helped build him. Now he's too star power for you. You blow your budget on him.
Momoa would cost too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but so.
Oh, he's also in Street Fighter too. That's what.
Which one?
The broke boy, Momoa. He's in.
Momoa, yeah. He's also in Street Fighter. True. He's also in Street Fighter, which is another one that I'm just like, I've seen some of the character work, and some of them I'm like, okay, but others I'm just like, I'm questioning right now. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. I love the fan service. I love the fan service they're doing. That's great.
Yes.
But it's kind of like they're hinging on that fan service to like cringe level, where it's like. So that's another one I'm concerned. It sucks because like video game movies and shows have like Fallout is probably one of the few that have actually done really well. Even the old like Resident Evil like 1 movie with Mila Jovanovic, or I think
of course Jovanovic.
Yes. Mila Jovanovic. Yeah, she was good. She was great.
The first few were pretty great, and then it just went.
they was it Ewell? What's his name? Ewell Bowl or whatever it is. He just made like, and that's he's the.
Okay. Hold on. I see what's going on in the chat, and I need to put a stop to that right now, because I saw this argument also in our Discord, and I had to laugh this off immediately. Get out of here, my brother BT Maverick. You are ridiculous, sir. He said Jared Butler would be a good choice. Sure, he would have. Like 10 years ago, bro. The man is in his 60s. What are you talking about?
You get him right after.
Was a long time ago.
You get him right after Sparta. Yeah, maybe. 300. Right? I could see. It's the same reason why Christopher Judge isn't doing it. He's too old. Exactly. Well, it's not a knock against him. He has back problems and stuff, like Lucius mentioned in the Discord. He's
also had some plastic surgery that makes him look a little bit.
A little. But Ewell Bowl, like him creating all those crappy, just horrible movies. That's where a lot of my concern comes from when stuff like this happens. Anytime, even years later, even though we've had some pretty good shows come out and movies relating to like a video game, universe and world, it's still always just in the back of my mind, they're gonna botch it. And that's my biggest concern. And it sucks to have that as a gamer, because we should be able to enjoy great movies, but there's just people who try and cash cow on it and just don't have the vision, for it.
Yep. I will contend, and I won't take credit for this, because myself and both myself and Everborn, Mr. Umbra, actually, Infinite Umbra, in the Discord came to this conclusion together, that we thought that this would have been a better choice. I don't know if anybody knows the show American Gods, a gentleman by the name of Ricky Whittle. He would have been a far better choice, in my humble opinion, for this role. I'm actually like trying to find a good
I was gonna say, yeah, I wasn't able to see the picture. I remember you guys talking about it, but I think I had to leave for work before I could actually see.
And I'm literally digging through the crates just trying to find a picture here. Please forgive me. Avert your eyes, avert your gaze if this is too much for you in the morning. But here's Ricky Widow. Here's Ricky Widow. You know,
he has the look. I can see it.
And and this is him when he was much smaller. He's much more swole now. He's got the beard. He does have a good beard on him these days. You know, the man would be a far better. He'd be a far better choice, I think, than what the choice we got. But yeah,
than Tomb Raider.
Yeah, than Tomb Raider guy.
No, I agree. Yeah. Yes, like I was gonna say, this is probably him a little bit more leaner, defined.
Yes, but he's a big. He's a far bigger. Like he's gotten much swole in his day, and I think he would have been a far better better choice here. And the skin works, and he's a great actor, by the way. Yeah. Great actor. You know, this is him with hair. This is him with the beard. You know what I'm saying? Like the man could have gotten the job done. I'm sorry. You know, Saturday morning. You know.
Erodimus wants to know why you have his picture saved on your phone.
This is not my phone, sir. This is the internet's, sir. Calm down.
Oh, that's great.
What are we trying to imply, sir?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah, I can see it. Longer beard, like that right there, you know.
Yes.
That would be an insanely smart choice. And I think this is where you and I talked about too on the Discord, that this kind of felt lazy. I thought it felt rushed. You know, but I mean your assessment's fair as well, that it's a lazy choice, I think.
Yeah. You know, I again, I'm that, you got me. I'm that type of gamer. I'm the type of viewer. Like if you have something that interests me or catches my eye, I'm there, even if I'm skeptical. So I'm that guy who's, I will tell you up till now, has seen every single thing MCU related that Disney has released, like everything, even the crap. I've seen it all. The cartoons, everything. Stop it. I will fight for Eternals. We can talk about that in the Discord. Anyway, but so you got me, right? But I wish they had done a bit more. I feel like this character deserved a bit more fanfare, a bit more oomph, as far as maybe go far and wide, seek somebody, no name. You know, we were having this argument, this conversation in the Discord. A very odd example, but the best example I can give, which is Passion of the Christ, which is a film I saw many years ago, right? And it's a, you know, say what you will, there's some propaganda in it. Yeah, fine. But as a story, which everyone basically knows, if you're religious or religious adjacent at all, you know what that story is, right? So when they said they were going to put that to film, I was always very like eyes wide open on like, how the heck are they going to do that? And they picked a character who, an actor who at the time was no name, like really, who Jim Caviezel at this point has gone on to do great things. I loved him in many TV shows and movies and stuff, but at that time he was a no name. He fit that role like a damn glove. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. You know, in the mind's eye, it works because you didn't know him from anything. No. I would have loved for that to be what he is here, where they find someone who they can just make, okay, this is your Kratos, so that they can move on to future movies and do real cool stuff with him, right? Now, I'm not sure about that with this character. We'll see. I could be wrong. And
this is where I put the what would you call it? The tinfoil, was it Kufi?
The Kufi. We put the Kufi on. That's right.
Yeah, this is where, and this is why I think it's rushed, is because they're looking at other shows right now that are being canceled. You know, like I think the Horizon show was canceled, right? I think there was another show that ended up getting canceled.
Yeah, weren't they even planning a movie for that as well? That was also eventually like degraded.
Yeah,
or whatever?
I think so. Yeah. I think Herman Holst kind of wanted to take the Horizon. I mean, that's their darling. So they wanted to take that into like the movie and TV world. And I think those got canceled. I think there was something else that got canceled that was going to be. And I think this is where they're kind of like the you know, Amazon and Sony were kind of, you know, like, hey, you don't want this to be canceled. You know, you got to do something. We need something. And I think this is why they kind of rushed the decision. He already knows the material. He's already, you know, already known and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think this was rushed just so it wasn't going to be on the chopping block.
Possibly. possibly. But yeah, like Dennis G883 says, which I completely agree with. Why not a Mediterranean actor? Right? A Greek role doesn't come along very often. Just look at how white the cast of the Odyssey will be. This is the thing, I'm just trying to keep the same energy. Back in the day when this happened, people were just all over the place, and now they're just like, well, we'll just paint him. It feels very Soul Man to me, for those who remember the 80s movies. I don't know, like they're sitting by the writer's room and go, yeah, don't worry, we'll just paint him black. Oh boy.
Digital, I guess it would be digital blackface in a sense. Would it be? Where you kind of overdo that color grade and
in the 80s there was no digital about it. They physically blackfaced the man.
Oh yeah, well, back in the day. I mean, for these coming up, for this, coming up, it would be this
digital blackface.
It's just digital.
Yeah. I was just like,
we'll handle it in post.
I don't know how I feel about that whole thing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, no.
Yeah, it's a little shaky, especially with what you can do. Especially when you do have like we were talking about in the Discord too. It's like
so many great actors out there.
Waiter.
Come on now.
There's a waiter somewhere in Hollywood right now serving, tables that would have been the perfect fit.
Indeed. So it's just, to me, a wasted opportunity. Very sad. Come on, guys. Next time, do better. Kind of a situation for me.
Yeah.
But no, again, let us not lead folks to think that, pitchforks and all of that. No, it is what it is. We will gladly wait and watch and see what happens. I hope it's great.
I like the casting choice. Like I said, I think it's a good casting choice for what they had. Is there better? Of course. But I think I like him. I liked him in Sons of Anarchy and stuff like that. I think he's going to be I think he's going to nail it. And I don't know. He has the look already. He knows the material, at least. He knows this. He understands the source.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there is an argument to be made that, hey, he does have a connection, as Sony would imagine. He does have a connection to the source material. He does have some kind of star power, because he used to be on Sons of Anarchy and a few other places, right? So there is some notoriety there. It is what it is. Drake, I see you, bro. Drake Williams being very slanderous right now. That is great. The only one I haven't heard people call out is the voice of Mario. What's his name again? He should be.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, wasn't Chris Pratt available? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. But
very nice.
Yes. Anyway. Oh, you see, people giving you that smoke. You could be the.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I got the beard and stuff like that, so I'm ready.
Yeah. But all right, ladies and gentlemen. So register my concern here. This is me. Register my concern. I'm not gonna go off the beaten path. I'm not going crazy. But register my concern. I'm just saying, at this point, I hope we do better as far as the writing and all of that is concerned. I hope we do better. But,
it's fair criticism.
No. I missed a quick super chat, so let me catch up on that real quick. The great Soltech, who's been here, who's a great member of our community, mod in our Discord, he says, please, with the super chat, please hit the like button and subscribe. Brokeback Poppy is missing. Oh man, seriously, bro? You're going to hear from Marge Simpson later. I'm just saying. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Damn.
Somewhere he's groaning like Marge, like
he's
that.
Just like, all right. So okay, let's talk more Xbox stuff, because I know you're an Xbox fan, as we all are, right? So did you hear how this whole Forza Horizon 6 leak thing happened? Because I think it's kind of a little ridiculous. Is this a controlled leak? Is this a real, please?
I don't know, because somebody had to have typed that in, had to set it to release, had to there's a lot of moving parts here that just aren't somebody just made a simple mistake.
There are controls that force you to make sure that you vet the information that goes out, right? There are multiple checkpoints that have to be.
I call them. So when we used to do like stage work and like when I was on in a band and stuff, we would we would yell dummy check, and we would have somebody go back on the stage. We'd all go back and make sure and check. Hey, you got this, you got your cymbals, you got your mic, you got your guitar, you got you got your cables. We would dummy check, and that's what we called it. And there's multiple dummy checks that should have happened here. It's not like some intern can just type up a message and hit print. There has to be something here, and I would say this could be a controlled leak, maybe to kind of get some sense or feel out the feelers out there, to see how would people feel about a May release, and then because they haven't really announced anything actually officially, unless some people would take this as an official announcement since it is in the game.
So let's level set. So we let people understand exactly what we're talking about. We're talking as if we assumed, and I see you there, Eastside. He says I missed it. What's the leak? So here's the full story as we have it on Front Street, and we are covering what a few other reputable outlets are covering right now, including in this case Tweaktown. Right, and it's that the Forza Horizon 6 date just leaked inside Forza Horizon 5 of all places. Okay,
yeah.
Now we live in a world where AI is a thing. We live in a world where people have many tools to deceive the naked eye. So take all of this as you will. There's been a lot of people trying to recreate this thing that was seen, and so far no one else has been able to recreate it. So all that put into the story up front so you understand, right? What's happening is some individual, an individual, which this is Xbox F10 on Twitter, right, found and saw this ad inside Forza Horizon 5. And this is as big as I can make it, which literally says Forza Horizon 6, pre-order now and get the pre-tuned exclusive Ferrari J50 in Forza Horizon 6. Discover the breathtaking landscapes of Japan and over 500 real world cars and become the legendary racer of Forza Horizon's biggest open world adventure yet. Pre-order Forza Horizon 6 Premium Edition or get the premium upgrade. Early access 4 days starting May 15th, it says. And this is not from me. This is not from any source. This is literally from this screenshot here, right? May 15th, it says. VIP membership, welcome pack, blah, 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 blah. Like it's as if the announcement had already been made, and now they're just reiterating, what the announcement that had been made. Even though I don't know about you, but I have not heard any announcement officially been made. So
we're gonna find out next week.
That's right. Is this CG? Or is this something that somebody kind of put together because they are like CG, like real in game, or something like going on? Because look, engineer, I'm an engineer by trade. You work on games. You know some of the logistics of what goes on in the back end. At a high level, with organizations like this, which is so steeped in corporate, like they have a corporate mindset. This is not a bunch of buddies making a game. This is a corporate entity with hundreds and hundreds of employees and a lot of bureaucracy. Before a game or any like pixel touches the screen, it's been vetted through multiple layers of systems and blah, 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 blah. That's how it works in corporate. Because God forbid you put something out you're not supposed to. You could be sued and all this other. And this is Microsoft back.
Oh, right?
This is not Forza Horizon 2. This is Forza Horizon 6. They have been at this for a long time. So I say all this to say, this is very surprising to me if it's a mistake. Because it's like, what systems do you have in place? Are you kidding me right now? How many layers did this traversed and nobody went, maybe we shouldn't share the date right now?
Yeah.
So that tells me if this is real, somebody got fired or getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
It might not be real. What do you think, sir? What do you think?
I mean, you have to send this through one spell check. Two, you get somebody to spell check it for you. Two, you send it through PR, to make sure it lines up and you have everything, you're, like I said, you got your P's and Q's crossed, get your P's and Q's crossed, dot your I's, cross your T's, you make sure it's ready for release and marketing, you get legal involved. all this stuff. There's like you said, the bureaucracy, the red tape that you have to go through to get something like this just on a splash screen. It's no joke. People don't think, like the behind, even when I've worked with certain companies, for the Reddit with developers and stuff, they're like, okay, well, we got to go back to the PR, we got to go back to legal. There's, they have to get their checks and stuff like that. It's not something that we can just sign up like that. It takes about a week to get certain things set up, Microsoft included. I've worked with them, with and stuff. So it's nothing to just say that's, some, like I said, some intern was just typed it out real quick and hit print, and no. So, and this does make sense. I think it's a good guess, because that's the cherry blossom season for Forza, is usually May. It's March, April, May kind of cherry blossom season. So I originally thought it was going to be March or April, but I mean, May, we'll find out next week if this is actually true or not.
So it may very well be true. It may not be true. I'm less concerned about if it's valid or not, and I'm just assuming it is, and scratching my head about, like, are people just on autopilot like that in the company to the point where all of it, like,
or would you say they're on Copilot? Just saying. I mean,
what you did there, sir. I see what you did there. Oh man. That is not good. That is not good. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. Would you say they're on Copilot? Just just hey, type me a release message.
Yeah. Yes. So it looks like, if we are to believe this, and by the way, as you see, like this links to the actual still post that it still exists, right? And even the great Tom Warren says, whereabouts did you see the pop-up? I can't get to reproduce himself, right? A lot of people have been trying to reproduce it. People have been trying to, take it on face value, be honest about it. And not as many people have been able to reproduce it. So there's that. But yeah, let's just assume it is true. Does it seem plausible to you? Is this something you can see happening?
Or
is this, yeah?
I mean, maybe it is. Like you said, people just are, on autopilot, and it hits their desk and they just do a quick, okay, blah, 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 okay, yeah, send it. Blah, 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 oh yeah, send it, and they get so many different things, especially with how many moving parts there are, inside Microsoft. And yeah, I could definitely see this missing a few checks, just because, people think, just like you said, just like we think that this is a massive corporation. Oh, somebody's going to catch it. And it could have just been somebody got complacent, multiple levels. It just was that perfect storm, of snowball effect, where it just, everything lined up just absolutely perfectly for something like this to happen. So I wouldn't put it past it, especially with how big Microsoft and Xbox is, that somebody got, multiple people got complacent on this.
Perfect wild. Yeah, absolutely. But I hope it's true. I would love to play it soon. That's awesome.
I hope it's false so we can get it in March or April so we can play it even sooner.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That's true.
But we'll find out next week. We'll see.
There you go.
What it says.
To that point, before we get out of here, because I want to keep it concise this week. We have about 15 minutes left. I want to do a nice, concise show this week. Ask, sir. What do you think? There's rumor and speculation abound about what we will see, because there's always they have kind of trained the populace at this point. There tends to be a shadow drop. There tends to be an extra game that they reveal last minute. What are your thoughts, sir? I know you and Boom have speculated a time or two at this point.
Yeah,
we're a week away from it, barely a week away from it. What do you think we're going to see there? What teams do we not know of right now that we'll probably be all excited about next week when we reconvene and talk?
Yeah, I mean, we know what the fourth game is going to be. It's been already. Well, I mean, it's been heavily speculated. It's been heavily leaked already, and that's the Double Fine, Kiln game. I think it's been hinted, and then I think Jez actually just like outright said it. I think on a podcast or in some art or something like that that's what's coming. Eastside Vandal says Fallout New Vegas remake. I think that is actually on the table. You can't have this stellar season coming to a close. You really want to set it up. You really want to get people hyped into this season. Announce the Fallout New Vegas remake right then and there, a week before the season finale ends. You're going to drive viewership through the roof. Whether it'll be a shadow drop in there. Huh?
Yeah. If there is a game there, that would be the proper time, because there's still, if I'm not mistaken, they're still releasing episodes all the way right up until that time, right? So if you were to drop it right there, now people can continue playing in that world after the show is done. Yeah, that's how you capitalize on. That'd be a good look. Because last time, if I'm not mistaken, that was our number one criticism. Like, the game is done now, or the show rather is done. It made such a splash. It would be cool if you had a game to
Fallout 3 remake or something, or Fallout, something. But I mean, and then again, though, this is also where Xbox kind of drops the ball a lot when it comes to marketing and their inexperience in dealing with movies and TV shows. So that's kind of the where my biggest concern is. This is where Xbox drops the ball when it comes to TV and getting their name out and their IPs out and stuff into the mass consumer market. Which Sony excels at well, because they have a music branch, they have a TV branch, they have a movie branch, so they're experienced on how to sync stuff up for that. But I would say Fallout remake.
Based. Absolutely, they do.
Yeah,
and you know what? The criticism I'll give to Xbox is, I used to love the way Bethesda doled out the message. If you remember how Fallout 4 came out, it was awesome, right? You didn't even know it existed, and then 6 months it was in your hands. The way they showed it off, they had a whole, they basically had their own separate E3 thing after the regular shows had gone. They had their own. That was one of the main exciting parts to me about Microsoft acquiring them. I was hoping that whiz bang, interesting, spontaneous energy would also spur into Xbox, which I would say, I guess some of that is happening now with all their shadow drops and stuff, but I feel like it's less than it used to be. It's not as whippy as it used to be. They used to be very good at that, right?
Yeah.
I think one year they did a theme park theme. The whole thing.
Yeah, Bethesda Land. Bethesda Land was fun. Yeah,
stuff like that. Pretty awesome. It's me, the broke boy. $2 super chat. He says, remember last year Doom leaked prior to the dev direct. That is true. They tend to have this niche of always releasing stuff or having stuff drop right before people talk, right? Either it's bad news or interesting news. Oh, we are firing a bunch of people. Don't worry, there's some games here to be played, or some leaked stuff comes about. At least so far, it hasn't been bad news, which that's a good thing.
No. And that's kind of typical for most companies. They're like, oh, hey, here's some bad news. And then all of a sudden they have the dev direct, or they'll have their showcase, a week later. And then everybody next week is like, what happened last week? It's just a way. Every company does that. It's the classic misdirect, where you drop something bad and then you give something really, really good out. And it kind of just overshadows the bad. Happens. Every company does it, we'll see what happens with this, if this is an actual leak when it comes to what he was talking about with Forza and stuff like that for Will the Broke Boy Lewis.
No, but no, look, don't let any of this fool you. We are super excited to see what's what.
What do you think?
What?
You never said what you thought would be coming.
So these days, Microsoft is doing interesting things. These days, they're breaking down certain barriers. They're making things that seemed impossible more possible, stuff like that. So these days, I'm more willing to entertain the unusual. I'm more willing to entertain the unusual these days, right? So you see the historical developer of Pokemon, right, is now going to show their wares on the Xbox stage, Game Pass and all of that. Something you would have never thought would happen historically, right? They didn't really have a relationship like that, but here we are, right? Square has been on the stage as well. All this, so I feel like it's super interesting that we are in a place now where anything can happen with them, and I think that's excellent, right? So I'm not saying it's going to happen now. I don't expect it to happen now, but there will be a day where the Team Green will unveil something, and it'll be from Team Blue.
That's actually I've heard that as well. That might be something coming as well.
And it'll be Team Green opening the door, and Team Blue just literally like enjoying themselves, showing their wares off on the Xbox stage. And I'll just be like, and that'll be the
Tom
D
Holland
today. I'll be like this. I'll be like this.
Yep, I think all of us will be. Yeah, like I said, speaking of Tom Holland, he's been a conversation of the night. You know, speaking of Team Blue and Tom Holland, that's a possibility if you guys picking up what I'm putting down. You know, Black John also said. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. What were you saying?
The Black John also said Final Fantasy VII drops the same day. Maybe Rebirth news too.
Yeah,
that would be another perfect opportunity right there. But wait, you get to play Final Fantasy VII today. Let's announce what's next for Xbox. Yeah, that's another possibility.
Didn't the Square, one of the Square devs, make promises on Twitter? I promise to bring all the games. Blah 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 blah. Maybe this is the how they thread that needle and have that conversation with the public. It would be a good opportunity to do so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And to that point, the OG Final Fantasy dropped on Square on Game Pass, one of the last drops recently.
Yeah.
Like maybe a week and a half ago. Maybe they're telegraphing something there. Just saying.
Walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
It is what it is.
Might be a duck.
It is exciting times. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for the day when that I'm looking for that unusual. I'm looking for that. But I've said it on Bloom Show, for me these days, what keeps me there in that ecosystem, what keeps me excited in that ecosystem is making me like things that are new, things that I didn't know I'd like beforehand, right? I've spoken numerous times about how much I loved like Blueprints. I didn't know what Blueprints was before it showed up on Game Pass.
Game of the year.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, right? I loved Ball X Pit. I really did. I played the heck out of that game. I had no idea what that was. You wouldn't have gotten me to buy it. But after that, I was totally a fan, and I eventually got it on Steam and all this. So, that's one thing I think that they are very good at these days, which is finding that interesting. I mean, look at the game of the year in Expedition 33, which was also there, right? They are very good at finding those things that will be the future look, the future amazing game. So while I'm there and excited for all the AAA awesome games that they are also providing, which the recent game, a lot of people maybe didn't give a time to Star Wars Outlaws. Give it another shot. They've done a lot of fixes. It's on Game Pass.
Down, awesome. An amazing title. I loved it when it first released too. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the stealth.
It did some weird things, but now it's much better. Play it. It's really cool.
You want a Star Wars universe and be immersed? That's the game that makes you feel like you're playing Star Wars.
Yeah, it's cool. They put that out there, right? So there's that. But what I'm there for right now are the unknown, the crazy weird things that just come out of nowhere, and you're
Quarantine
just like,
Zone.
There you go. Right out of nowhere, you're just like, wow, what an idea, what an interesting concept, So they're doing a lot of really cool stuff there. And not to be outdone, PlayStation also has been releasing some interesting things on their PlayStation Plus service as well. So when they do, we call that out. But I gotta say, I think they're batting 1,000 right now. Although when I do look on what they released recently right now, which is My Little Pony, a Cypher, a Cypher height mystery. Yeah, I think I'll skip that one. But yeah, before that, Quarantine Zone. Yes. Easy Chivos, yes.
That's your thing.
But no, I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Let's see. Oh, we have the great Sith Lord, who's been a member for 21 months. Thank you so much. He says, do you feel the G in games look like a 6? Do you have a kufi on yourself, sir? Are you trying to say something?
If a lot of people think that means, 6 games that might be announced, and maybe.
I know.
I mean, they've also did this last year or 2 years ago with the Forza, where they made everything, kind of look like a 6. All the G's look like a 6. Maybe
people Take it off. Let them surprise you.
Yeah.
I hope you're right though. I hope it's a bunch of games. Why not? Shoot. They got so many games to show at this point, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then we have the great Adidas 20, who's also been a member for 19 months. So generous. Thank you so much. He says, salute K. What up, Court?
What's
Salute
up, brother?
you,
Good to talk to you, man. Hopefully we can meet up this year in LA. I know you wanted to, I think last year.
And on that topic, we the plans are still afoot. We're not sure what's what. There's no official word from Xbox just yet as far as whether they're going to have a thing this year. Last year they didn't have a thing, which was very unfortunate. Although shout out to the great Ben Kenobi and Hargeet. They had a thing out there which was really awesome. I've been slandering them forever because they didn't put the video out, and I wanted them to put the video out. You would have seen how awesome it was. Hopefully this year they're able to put some videos out and show people how great a time that was. I'm still thinking about it. I might be out there as well. So if you are Adidas 20, I look forward to hanging out with you, sir. Just like I did with Korkenstein last time I was out there. Yeah, man, it was fun getting to meet people, because that's what we do on this show. We sometimes go touch some grass from time to time.
I think I think Web Dave got his. I think Hargeet already got his. I think Hotel and stuff like that. So the wheels are already moving. I think some people are getting there.
On the panel and being super generous himself, dropping 5 gifted subs. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. You know, I said, thank you for having me on.
Shout out to the great Korkenstein. We need to have you on more, man. It's awesome, and it's hilarious. It's like I felt like I already had you on. He's always in the Discord. We're always chatting. On a daily. The man is there. So I'm just like, he's part of the group. Like my brain went, when was the last time he was on again? And I was convinced he was on before. I'm just like,
yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Like I said, I absolutely love it. Thank you for the absolute honor to be on here and stuff. Like I said, it's always enjoy your wealth of knowledge. I know I made the joke. I was like, we're probably gonna talk about tech, and then Kay's gonna have to explain things to me like I'm 5 years old, because he's way smarter at me when it comes to tech stuff. But you are a scholar and a gentleman, sir, and I appreciate you having me on. This was an absolute joy to start my weekend off.
Oh, thank you, sir. Now, this is great having you on. Shout out once again to the great Everborn Saga, who hopefully is recuperating his voice right now. If you're not, you better be doing that, bro. I hope I don't see you in the Discord, because if you are in the Discord, you're talking like Marge Simpson right now. I will slander you repeatedly.
I could start to hear it yesterday when he was in the Discord. I could be like, oh yeah, I'm hearing it for sure.
Oh yeah. It was like, God, bro, what are we doing? Yes. So he's in there, and he of course was continuing to talk. What we do.
Yeah, I know.
We do. Yes.
I'm wishing him well wishes and speedy recovery.
Absolutely. But again, before we get out of here, 2 great things going on in our Discord this coming week. One, I just started the fan made stuff. Lots of awesome made games, like fan made games in there. Some titles being the Dead Space D-Make, not remake, the D-Make, meaning a PS1 version of
that. Looks so cool. That looks so cool. I've seen it before.
Yep. The Mario 64 Deluxe, that one looks like they've like spit shined Mario 64 to like modern degrees. Pretty insane. So many games, so many Sonic derivatives out there. Like, and I'm calling on the community. If you know any cool ones, add it to the list, because I love it, and I can go like a week playing just games that some fan made. So we're building that out there. So that's awesome. We also have an initiative in our Discord where we are counting down all the greatest games of all time. We're putting them together. Great concise list. Starting with Nintendo, we will start this week, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere like that. We'll start with Nintendo. And it will be a fight of all fights. It'll be a battle of all battles. If you don't want Kung Fu Heroes to lose, if you don't want Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu to lose, if you don't want Legendary Wings to lose, which is my favorite game,
oh, it's a good one.
Commando, get in there.
Old
Batman game, Will Aladdin be part of the top 10? Oh no. Darkwing Duck,
original Castlevania.
Exactly. all of that. We will be adjudicating. We'll be debating. We'll be having a fight.
Who
And we're
framed-
less PG-13.
I think we need to add
You know
that
what I
one. Who framed Roger Rabbit?
That's right. That's right. That's right. So we'll be having great chats in our Discord, like counting down to the top 10.
Eastside also mentioned it, but we're watching Memento this weekend.
Yeah.
That did win. That was my nomination. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
shout out to Corkins. We also do an on the reel where in the on the reel channel we everyone during the week we started something fresh on the week. During the week you bring your movie choices, what you think the community should watch. And this week we chose Memento. Everyone brought their suggestions. Corkins brought Memento. I brought Donnie Darko because I was like, yeah, I need to mess with y'all.
That's
minds.
a classic though. That's a good one. And it's a shame it never took off in theaters. I mean, we know why. For those that don't know, it depicted an airplane going down, and it happened to release like a week after 9/11.
So close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it just never got the traction. But gorgeous movie, editing, narrative, all that stuff. Jake Gyllenhaal did an amazing job.
Yep. So yeah, come join us on the reel. Not only about games, we're also talking movies. This week we'll be watching Memento. So if you want to, how about you go watch Memento on during the weekend? Join us on that Monday. We do a lot of voice chats, right? So we'll be in the voice chat while people working and having a good day with their days on Mondays during the week. And we'll just be chatting about games, we're chatting about movies, we'll be chatting about Memento. So join us. Do you know what I want to add? Remember during when the Matrix was big, when Matrix 1 first came out, right?
Oh yeah.
Right after that, Equilibrium, or either 6 months before or after Equilibrium came out. Did you ever see Equilibrium?
It sounds so familiar.
You need to watch Equilibrium. To my like, it was every bit the action movie of The Matrix, but it overshadowed The Matrix.
It had a pretty big cast too, right?
Yes, with Tate Williams, I forget Tate Diggs rather.
Yeah,
Tate Diggs and Batman, Nolan's Batman. What's
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah, Tate Diggs and Christian Bale. They had Gung Fu. It was awesome. I'll put that up for probably.
Eastside just say Gun Fu, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome movie, Equilibrium. Most people didn't watch it because it was overshadowed by The Matrix. But yes, these are the things we talk about in the Discord, folks. On the reel, movies, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Thank you, Soil Tech, for your nomination as well.
Yes. Gorkenstein, please tell the fine people where else they can keep up with your ongoings. Put your link in the chat one more time. Let people know where they keep up with you. And thank you so much for being here, sir.
Yeah, big thank you. Like I said, just like your Discord, this community here has an amazing, awesome time talking with everybody in the chat, talking with you as well, getting a chance to do it on the one-on-one basis, which is really awesome. I feel honored. For me, I just posted it. Like I said, I mod the our Xbox subreddit. We're going to be doing some really cool, great things this year, like maybe getting into reviews and previews just for that community. We do a ton of giveaways. We always have AMAs. So if you want to interact with devs of your favorite game, let us know. We'll talk to them. We'll reach out to them. We have a bit of a name and a reputation in the industry to get AMAs out there, and that's because you want it. That's what we do as mods. We're servants of the community, and we want to make sure you guys get what you want to talk about and what you want to see. So join the subreddit. Let me know. You can find me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Threads as the Korkenstein or Korkenstein. Either one works. That's Web Dave makes fun of me all the time. He's like, it's Frankenstein or it's Frankenstein, and he's like, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah. So yeah, you can find me there under that name. And then, yeah, I had to make the unfortunate decision to step away from Game Pass Gumbo just because I want to start my own channel. And I keep saying that. And then I get wrapped up in another podcast, or I start like jumping to new different things and I got to focus. So Korkenstein Gaming, it's right now it's Xbox Talks on YouTube. But I talked with the guys since our like I said, the mod passed away earlier last year. We're no longer going to do the podcast. So they said, yeah, rather than waste those subscribers and people that want to hear about Xbox, just change it to Korkenstein Gaming. So that rebrand will be happening hopefully in the next month or two.
Awesome. That's great. So we're going to hear more from Korkenstein, get more in the community. I look forward to it. That's awesome. So thank you so much for being here. We'll make sure we get you more on here. I will not forget that we hadn't had you on here before. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And Pick on Fusion, who's a member for 19 months. How kind. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah.
He says, Happy New Year, peace and blessings. Same to you and same to all the great people in the chat. Thank y'all so much for being here for this week. And once again, if you happen to catch Mr. Everborn Saga out there in them Twitter or other streets these days, he's more on Discord than most places. Shout out to Everborn Saga. He's probably sipping on a lot of tea and drinking lemon and things. But yeah, we'll catch up with him. But I think that's it for us this week. That's it. We out. It's been an awesome show. Thank you once again, Corky team, for being here. And yeah, man, we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you. Peace. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy gaming.
Nice to be in orbit.